So in order to get the data from the internet, I'm going to use the other resource. This time I'm going to get the data .cdc.gov.grass flu view and flu portal dashboard. So this is the dashboard where we can the web access data, and this is the disclaimer. You can click on the OK, and national, regional, state level outpatient illness and viral surveillance data. So CDC data we can download from here. So now I'm going to click on the download data, and you can click the whole. See WHO NIV. No, I need ILE net data and national and all select season. I'm taking care of only three values: first, second, and third, and then select season. I'm going to download the data set over here. You can see the zip file is just downloaded over here. I'm going to click over this and unzip, extract all, and extract here. So inside this extract, you can see the file is already here in the CSV format. Coming back to the data set means your Power BI desktop. I'm going to create the data set. Click on the get data text CSV, and this time I'm going to create on download setup view and elinet.csv, and this will take few seconds. Now you can see that different columns are already there, and we can have the different values in the float and the whole number. Now I can click on the transform data, and inside the transform data I can have the different columns. So you can see the columns are not in the format, and the result type, region, year, week are not in the given format. So what I can do, I can just click on the first row and remove row and remove top rows. So it will ask the number of rows I want to delete. So I click on, I type 1 and click OK, and then I can can have all the synchronized data. Once again, I want to keep all these region type, region, year, week, percentage, weight, age, 14 in the first column as a column name. So I will click on this option, use first row as a header. You can see now region, year are becoming the name of the year. So key role in enforcing that you are going to apply the steps over here and going to change the data. If I click on remove all the operations, it will have the original format. So you can see now the remove top rows. Now the all these informations are in the original format. So I'm going to click over here and again remove top rows. Click one and OK. Now use first row as a header. So this is, I'm going to click on apply. Now I want to have courage to continue into the data format and the data percentage. So you can see the region is entirely empty and none data is there. So I can remove this, delete this data, this column. So remove column. I'm going to remove this column. Again, if I see any other data which is having irrelevant values, I can remove that also. So I can see age 25, 26 is not there, is not consisting any data. So I can remove column also. So again, in the giving information, rest values are fine. So I'm going to keep it as it is and going to apply all these operations. So our expectation in realistic manner to perform some different values. So what I I'll click on the right hand side and step further, and you can see the diagnose and the properties of the resource and so on. So you can see the entire data set is diagnose and edit setting and also and so if I click edit setting, then I can perform like from where I have choose the data, what is the format of the data set, origin and link break, and then what is the delimiter, and then what is the other values. Now coming back to the original data set. So I'm having this value, and I want to remove rows, and first remove rows, insert a step. Yes, so I'm going to import that insert step, and then I'm going to click one rows, and then use as a first row, insert, and then going to delete, remove columns, and then I'm going to insert that also, and again I'm going to delete this, remove rows, remove top rows, and then click on one row, and then remove rows, remove top rows. Oh, so I'm going to delete that, remove rows 2, so that will have changed data set. Yes, so I'm going to delete the age 25 26, remove column, and then I want to perform the close and apply, but column data has not found. Okay, so I'm going to perform some another options, like how to click perform the statistic. Like statistic is going to perform count values. I'm going to perform that count values. So if you can see that a value ABC, which means this data set is in the now in the given model, I can go click on the home and apply all the operations. Now I can go to the transform and click on the statistics. So here I can click on the count values and going to the insert. So I can see the count values are 112. So this is total count values, total 112 values. So if I click on the, but I'll click on the transform again and go to the statistic and count distinct value. So I'm going to insert that value and can see one. So this is one unique values inside my entire column. I'm going to delete that type one and going to delete that value on each respective operations. Similarly, I'm going to operate this value and I'm going to change the operations. So this is going to change the operations data type. So I can convert this value as a whole number because my data set is in the whole number format. So I can convert into the whole number data format. So now you can see inside the data transform, this standard operation is now enabled. So previously, if I click on the decimal number, click on the data type format and convert into the text and replace, so add replace current. So now you can see the, if I click on the transform, the standard operation is not enabled, but I'll click on the whole number and then replace current, and then you can see the standard values are now there. If I click on the add, so now, so enter a number to add each column in the image. Suppose I'm going to click 100 in each column. So I'm going, I 42, 43, 44. Now these values are 52, 53, 54. This is how I can add a number in each row. Similarly, if I click the like suppose insert, divide, and modulo percentage. So like percentage, the value of how much percentage. So I suppose I want to calculate the value out of 100. So I click on the 100. So I can see the 100 percentage is there. If I click on the percentage and then click upon the 200, then the value is now doubled. So out of 200, the value is 84%. Similarly, I can do the same percentage values. Now, similarly, I can perform all these operations. But before that, I'll have to convert into the decimal number. And again, this is the decimal number and showing the text format. So again, this is the text format. I'll have to convert into the whole number because this is the year. And again, I can convert this um, as a decimal number also. Again, this is a whole number, and this data set is again my whole number. And going back to the 2000, this number is again whole number. So I can convert all my data set into the whole number respective values. If by default the automatic conversion is different to the whole number. So now this is going to the home, and this is the apply, and going to the apply function and coming back to the dashboard format. So now close and apply. So this will lead to the dashboard operation. Now if I'll click on the expand all, and then I'll have all the values over here. So this is the national and this is the cumulative value. So if I'll click on the like chart, and then suppose this values, and then okay, so coming back to the data query, edit query. Okay, so remove top rows. I'm going to remove that value, delete. Yes. So remove header ones. Yes. So I'm going to change that values. Now on the right hand side, my entire data set is just converted, and I can choose the age between 5 and 25 and region type. So I can have the region type here, national, and the particular value. If I select the region A65 and A54, so this will give the entire ratio and entire stack values. So if I to convert into the stack bar chart, it will give the, if I click on this data set and convert into stack chart, this will look like this. And similarly, another stack chart, and similarly clustered bar chart, and similarly clustered column chart, and 100% bar chart, and 100% stack column chart. So this is how I can convert the data set over here. Suppose I want to insert the table view. So I click on the table title and just insert the same age 54, and click on age 50, sum of this one, and age total. So I can do the same. So if I click over here, and so I can have the entire like spend all. So similarly, suppose I want to sum of this one, so I can have the sum of this one, and instead of sum is all, and then sum is total, and add data, and then I can perform the filters. Similarly, I can have more data over here and click the values inside the data set, but then insert the week, total week, and insert the percentage weight, and so on. So if I click on over here and go to the format your visualization and click on the font, and then click on 55, let's say, or I'll go to the 20 values, so I will have more larger font size. I click on the data set, and then this value will appear in the larger font size. So in this way you can convert the data set into the different sections and different aspects. So I'll click on, let's say, 16. So I'll have 16, and now my font sets are 16. Now suppose I am going to create 13, and now going to create 13 font size. Now suppose I want to add one new column here, so I can remove this column here and go to the dashboard, and instead of this new column I had added one total sales over here. So what I'll do, I'll click on the order detail orders table and click on new pages, and once it will click on new pages, I'll select the total underscore value, and then going to the total value I'm going to click sum, and then inside this summarize sum function I'm going to give the sum of profit this time plus sum of profit, and giving the another table name that is orders. Let's say I'm giving orders total sales, or I can give the sales also. So inside the sales, inside the to order sales total sales I'm going to click OK. So I can hit enter, and let's see, it's going to, so the sum function only accept a column reference, so it is going to create only one column, so which is the sum of any particular value, particular that column. So I'm going to give the odd profit order and hit enter. So this is going to create the total value. You can see the total value is now going to represent here. So once again, I'm going to take one another value. So that's let's say I'm going to take this tech column chart, and inside this dot column chart, I'm going to take the city and the total value here. So you can see now total value by city and total sales by city is just depicting over here. If I want to see the total categories over the total categories, now it's going to show over here, and I'm going to convert into cluster column. So for furniture, office sales and technologies are different categories, and now I want to convert into the different subcategories this total values. So inside the subcategories I'm having this much amount, copiers, phones, and so on. So this is how we can use the text function inside the particular table value.